so much to me.
Tell me why. Like, what was you saying? Go ahead.
My friends y'all saved me.
You was going through a lot. Breakups ain't easy. Especially that history that you've been through with him. Y'all, we came to talk about moving on from your ex. Okay? I'm not doing a title card. I'm not doing a welcome to my channel. No, we're not doing that. Because today we're going to talk about some real stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, God. Something we will do is the wine. This is Sauvignon Blanc from Kendall Jackson, okay? Venture's Reserve. Okay, I was not paid. Okay? Pour me a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna talk about moving on from your ex, okay? Because as you guys know, I've never been in a relationship. I've never had a boyfriend, but I do refer to my ex pieces as exes only because it would just be too much for me to explain every single time that, oh, he wasn't my boyfriend, but we talked for 9 months. You know who I'm talking about.
I was in a relationship for 2 years.
I feel like it was longer than that.
I mean, the anniversary would have been April 12th to make it 3.
Okay, me and my man, we talked for about 9 or 10 months, okay? I met him end of July, August. I met him end of July, August. And okay, girl, I'm getting too into. Oh my God. I was literally this close to getting very emotional. Yeah, I was. Anyways, because I was about to say, this is gonna sound so corny and deep, but meeting him was when I realized that love at first sight was a thing. See, you make things so extra. Sis. You make things so dramatic. No, just nah. Okay, no, you can be yourself. Be yourself. It's pretty. Yeah, okay. Okay, but yeah, seriously. On a serious note, literally, to me, you know, love at first sight, I didn't feel like it was like I look at you and I fall in love. It was just our first seeing each other, our first sight, our first being together. I knew that I would love him. Maybe not at that moment. I didn't love him when I first met him. I don't love nobody when I first meet him.
But you can tell.
But I knew that I was going to love him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to love this man. And Lord behold, love.
Love shook the table, baby.
Girl, take me to jail, girl. I don't want this. Lock me up. Lock me up. I didn't want it. I didn't want it. Okay, let me get some guacamole because I didn't want it. I didn't. When we first met, it was literally just I met this dude off of Twitter. Let me tell you something. This dude had not a lot of followers, like under 1,000, I think, when I first met him. Like, you know, a lot of people be in my mentions on a daily, you know, so I just always see this person, I'm like, yo, I keep seeing his name. Long story short, we met. It wasn't supposed to be a long-term thing. It was honestly just supposed to be be honest. I'm gonna keep it real with you. We had sex the first night, and after that, he went back to Boston, and I was leaving New York. I was coming back to Atlanta to come to school, and I thought that was the end. I did. Like, you know, you text dudes after y'all do whatever. Right. But you think it's gonna dissolve.
Right.
Like, usually it does dissolve.
Yeah, it does.
Like, usually it's like, okay, we're gonna text consistently for maybe 2 days.
And then there's this dullness.
And then, yeah, what you doing every 4 days, and then there's no what you doing, and then it's a month later, like, how you been? And then we stop asking how you been.
What's up, stranger?
Exactly. Yeah. So that was very much what it was giving. And, so I didn't think that, but after, we talked every day.
Wow.
Like FaceTime every single day for hours. And long story short, 9 months later, we ended things, and you were there when we ended things.
Yeah.
It was pretty much me. Yeah, it was me. I did it, but he contributed more to why we stopped talking. Because what I said was not this is the end. What I said is I just don't want a relationship right now.
He made it awkward.
He made it awkward.
He made it so awkward. Like, I hated that energy on that phone call, y'all. Like,
yeah, and this is what it is. I pretty much said I know that I don't want a relationship right now. I don't. I just know that because right now my career, school, and my brand is really what I'm focused on. That's really what I care about the most right now. And I know I cannot put 100% of what I want into this. Like, into a relationship. Because we're getting to that point. It's 9 or 10 months. We're going to start a relationship eventually. And I just know I can't give you what a real good boyfriend that I want to be. I can't do that. So, and we just stopped talking because he didn't like that. And emotionally for him to deal with that. See, we all do things that's good for us. I'm talking too much. I'm gonna let you speak in a moment, girl.
I'm taking all of your energy.
You know,
sis.
I feel like when it comes to ending things, that's when you have to start being selfish. And I talked to you about this.
Yeah,
because it's different when you're in it and you're building and you're putting blocks together. I put this piece, you put that piece,
right.
And then we put this piece together. That's different. You have to consider the next person's move so that you can do your move. It's a team. But when you're ending things, when you're taking those down, you have to be strategic to make sure you're pulling out the right blocks so that yours doesn't fall down. Okay? Because you can fall down, you can break. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure for you that the pieces that you're taking back for yourself are good. And the reason I'm saying that is because when we ended things, I did what was good for me. I knew that this is not what I wanted. So that gave him the privilege and the right to do whatever he had to do after that, selfishly for himself to move on, to deal with that because he was hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he didn't want that. He saw us being together forever. Like I found the one. And I didn't feel otherwise. I honestly felt that, you know.
Yeah.
You know. I felt the same. I just didn't feel that right now that's not where I'm at. But I do know you're my soulmate. You know what I mean? But I had to do what was best. And then he had to do what was best for him. We both had to be selfish. And that's why I'm not mad at him. You know what it's like? I'm not mad.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm not mad. I'm just upset. Because of the circumstances, we're not angry at each other. It's just very much I have to do what's good for me. You know what I mean? So I did what was good for me. I told him I don't want this. He did what was best for him. He stopped talking to me. Because he knew that, knowing that in the back of his head that we're not building anymore. You don't want a relationship, so we're not building anymore. We're just here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, what is this? He didn't like that. That was something that he didn't like. So for his selfish reasons, which he had the right to, he just withheld and he stopped talking to me. He wouldn't answer my calls, wouldn't answer my texts. Not in a rude way, not in a ignoring me, but it was more like he would respond late. But keep going. What you saying?
Like, it kind of gave me the vibe. Like, what do we have to talk about now? Because he didn't like the situation. Yeah. He didn't like it.
So tell me about you. Why did you end it, and then how did you go about ending it? You don't have to go into too much detail, because bitch, you know I know. So if you don't want, whatever you don't want to share, you don't got to share.
I ended it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Tariq knows firsthand I have such a big heart. And, like, it takes a lot for me to let go. Because I'm always worried about the next person's feelings and never mine. So, I had to let that go. Because I just felt myself slipping away. Like, I'm a very happy person. Like, 24/7, very happy, very comical, everything, like, just positive. But he was changing me. Like, his energy dulled my light that I always give to you. Like, I be in the house sometimes, like, because I'm feeding off of his energy. And that's exactly what it was. And I just felt myself slipping away. Like, just it depends, like, just all
So that's
aspects.
why you ended it?
Yes.
The energy.
Yes.
Just at home, in the relationship, emotionally, sexually, just, like, be a little bit more specific so people can identify with it.
It was dulling in many aspects of our relationship. Yes, emotionally. I just started saying, fuck it. Like, I got a problem with once somebody does something to me, like, I am so big on seeking revenge, and I know it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's good you know that
yeah,
first.
It's
owning that is the
bad. Like, it's so bad because I'll do it in such like a sneaky way. It's like I just bitch you in the ass. I did not want to have to like do them like that because I know myself like, yo, I can fuck your ass up without even touching you. Like, that was just, I felt myself slipping away. I know what I am capable of once I am hurt. And I will not stop until I know you feel the same pain as me.
You want people to feel what I feel.
And yeah, I want you to feel that embarrassment that you put on me. I felt embarrassed. I hate feeling embarrassed. And like,
you was hurt.
I was hurt. I was embarrassed. And I was just like, you know, it's time. I had to end it. Now I have my own apartment. Boo has her own car. And I'm just making small steps. Like, it's like a slowly but surely thing. And I feel
No, I'm not saying this to put you on blast.
What?
Oh, Lord. I want to make it clear for people that's watching, because I think a lot of people are going to watch this for guidance. I feel like people are going to be going through their breakup and then watch this and I want you to be a little bit more elaborate on how long that took. You know, to actually get out. Because you lived with him. You know what I mean? And, you know, now you do got your own place and everything.
Yeah.
But it didn't just happen in a week.
No, it didn't. Like, things started getting shaky back in December. Like, right around Christmas. Just the screenshots. Just this. Just that. Just the lying. And finally in January, I was like, yo, like, no. Like, no. I just can't do this no more. And it was so much anger. Mm-hmm. It was so much anger, like, just in the house. And it's like we coexisting. We not talking. We not doing this. We not doing that. Like, not even trying to fix nothing because, like, it just felt like it was the end. If that makes sense, it just felt like it was the end. What did I start doing for myself to, like, slowly... I started hanging out with my friends. Oh my gosh, Tariq came in my life. My friend Lanisha came into my life. Like, I don't think y'all know. Like, I'm not finna cry. Hold on.
Oh, baby, if you cry, it's okay. If you cry, it's okay.
I'm holding it together. Oh my God.
No, talk. I want you to talk. Say what you were saying.
Like, y'all mean so much to me.
Tell me why. Like, what was you saying? Go ahead.
My friends y'all saved me.
You was going through a lot. Breakups ain't easy. Especially that history that you've been through with him.
I invested all of me into him.
Mm-hmm. Sis, I don't use this blanket anyway.
I invested all of me into him, and going through that, it was a lot, because I am not the one to tell people what I'm really going through. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm ever a burden to somebody or anything, so I'll hold it in. And that's how I was in high school. I held everything in, and then I just blow up. And it's so ugly when I blow up, because I'm not who you know, I'm not who you're used to. You'll be like, sis, what's wrong with you? And it's like, I hate being like that. So I've been doing little things like, I'm taking this Buddhism stuff like really serious. I've been going to the public library, getting my books and stuff. I haven't even told you this. I just been keeping it to myself because, like, just negative energy is just not for me anymore. And, you know, like, not even just in my relationship, but the workplace. You know that, like, I'm just trying to get rid of it. Like, that negative energy just is not for me anymore, because I'm such a happy person. I'm just going to say this. If y'all have, like, someone that you're in a relationship with that's just not making you happy, and you feel yourself slipping away, like, I know it's easier said than done, but you have to start making the steps to get away. Because when I tell you I was slipping away.
What you mean slipping? I was
Like
describing.
I just felt myself slipping away. I didn't want to go nowhere. I was just in the house eating. Like, I just was not happy. I just wasn't happy. Like, just small little stuff. Like, I used to just like writing. I used to like painting. I used to like all that just stopped.
So, what helped you realize that it stopped? Because I feel like these things happen and we don't realize that we're not doing anything that we don't like anymore. I think people get so used to and comfortable of not being happy that it's a triggering moment where you realize you're not happy. Is it someone asking you? Is it you meeting new friends? Like when you met me and Lanisha, you was like, damn, I haven't felt like this in a while. What was that?
I found myself not going to my parents' house anymore.
What was that?
I was so hurt and so like just bothered at how I was like slipping away. I didn't want my family to see me like that. I stopped going to see my parents. And also just when I met you guys, I'm like, yo, like just that authenticity of like what a real friendship is. Like, I know like Tariq and Lenny, I know y'all won't hurt me. I know they would like intentionally know like they would never hurt me. Like, I just feel free. That started restoring who I am again once I met y'all. Yes, it did. That was just the small steps to getting back to who I am. Was like I needed just a raw energy around me, and that was you and Lanisha, and that still is you and Lanisha for me.
With me, see, I didn't go through it. See, BJ calls me heartless. Like,
but you're not.
I'm not heartless. I'm just a little bit more. I'm just a little bit more in control of my emotions.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. I don't have a switchboard of my emotions, but I have a little bit more of control and understanding of my emotions. So I don't really go through moments of when I ended things with I was about to say his name with him. BJ was like, well, why don't you seem hurt? Like, y'all talked for 9 or 10 months.
Because Tariq, I will say, he does not talk about it that much, but you do care about him. But
absolutely,
like, sis does not talk about it that much, and it just amazes me.
I don't talk about it that much, not even on purpose.
No, it's not on purpose.
It don't even be in my head, and I just think, don't talk about it. It just, you know why I wasn't hurt? You want to know why I wasn't like crying? It was because I still knew that I was his soulmate and he was my soulmate. Like, I still know that we love each other to death. Like, when I say we love each other, like, we love each other. And there was no question of that. Like, that's why I wasn't upset. And no shade, but I think your situation was a little bit different.
Yeah.
That something happened where you felt like you wouldn't have did that if you loved me. Like, you know, like something like that where it's like you questioning, do you really care about me? And that wasn't the question with our separating. It was just wrong timing, you know? Because I think a lot of people go through this, like, this is still, people still are in relationships and they love each other, but it's bad timing. Oh, I got a job in Connecticut. I gotta take this job. This is adult shit, you know? This ain't no 16, 18-year-old type shit.
It's not.
This is some, you know, we adults. Because this is actually what we were going through. You know, he had just moved back from Spain. He was getting a new job, you know, and a job. You know, like, he has a degree.
Yeah.
And, like, he's getting a job with, you know, benefits and stuff. And it's like, he's doing that, and I'm trying to build a brand. I'm trying to build my career. He's just trying to get a job in his career. You know what I mean? Like, his career is already settled.
Right.
He's older. So it's a little, like, people break up, and it's like, it's just bad timing. I got a job in Connecticut. I have to leave. But you're not leaving because this is where your job is. You can't get another job. This is a great opportunity. The way that I move on, this is how Tarek Ali moves on. In order for me to move on, I have to cut all ties. Okay? I can't see you. I can't talk to you. I can't text you. I don't need you. I don't need you in my life. Because listen, I tell people this all the time. What did I tell you? I said, in order for you to learn a new life without this person, you have to make a new life without this person. And if you are continuing a life with that person in it, you won't be able to make a new norm. Because he's still there. It's kind of like when y'all was broken up, but y'all still lived together.
Yeah.
It was like, there's no way for you to really move on because you don't know a life without him.
Yeah, I was still considering his feelings.
Y'all was broken up. You was bringing him meals home, girl.
Yeah.
Going to Wendy's. I just want Wendy's. Should we in the line like, oh, I should ask him if he want. Girl.
Yeah.
Girl, that's not your man.
Yes,
Let him cook something. Throw some noodles in the microwave. What, girl? She would call him everywhere we went, girl.
I will say I had to work on, and that's another reason why I'm getting into my Buddhism.
Okay.
Separating selfish from being an asshole. Because once I get in this mode, oh, you need to start being selfish and stuff, I do become an asshole.
But I don't know, because it all depends on what you think is an asshole. Because certain things,
I never want to come off as angry.
but certain things that I want you to do, you see as being an asshole, and I'm not. That's not being an asshole. That's for you putting you first.
I've just never done that. Like my whole life, I worry about other people.
And I can see that.
Yeah,
I really can. To wrap this all up, I think a lot of people are going to be watching this that's going through a breakup. What advice would you give to someone that is going through a breakup and having a hard time trying to move on? What should they do to move on? And just what would you say to them?
Pay attention to if you are losing yourself. I didn't say this before, but I did sit one day and I wrote in my notepad, what do I see in myself that wasn't there before? What am I losing that I had before? When I was still happy, when I was still myself, when everything was just still good, and a lot of damn things on that list were gone. What are you losing? Like, because there is something, if you are going through a rough patch, like something is being lost within you or even in your partner that's just, it's not supposed to be like that, and really go over what differences you see in yourself. Because it is, like Tariq said, like, it's about you. When you feel yourself slipping away, it's not all about the other person. And I struggle with that.
A lot of people don't realize that they're not happy until they have to answer when somebody asks, what makes you happy? Well, I love when my man brings me sushi. I love when my man goes down on me. I love when my man... Can you answer without saying my man? Can you answer without your man being involved? Can you answer for you? What made you happy before you met him? Because I'm sure you weren't depressed. You know, or maybe you were. Maybe he picked you out of that depression. And maybe your identity is dependent on him.
Oh, yes.
So now you don't have an identity for him, for yourself. You have an identity purely on him. So you don't even know who you are. Because you don't know what makes you happy outside of him. So if he dies today, you probably ain't gonna make it. So that was my tip. I just, what makes you happy? And I want you to be able to answer that. Yes, it's nice to know how your man makes you happy, because if you can't say one thing about why he makes you happy, then maybe you don't need to be with him. That is one thing, but you also need to know what makes you happy outside of him. Okay? Because I feel like you have to be able to know yourself so that you can tell someone else how to make you happy. How do you expect somebody else to make you happy if you don't know what makes you happy?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how you realize if it's time to leave. Because if you don't have a list, if you can't even put one thing down, honey, I think you should start taking the time to figure out what makes you happy. Because you don't know. As I'm going through my little, whatever, we talk here and there, and I love him, but you have to put yourself first. Here's to putting ourselves first. Mm-hmm. Here's to being happy. Here's to figuring out what makes us happy. Mm-hmm. Here's to figuring out what makes us happy just with ourselves.
Yes.
It's not dependent on anybody else. Mm-hmm. And even though I love you, I want you to figure out what makes you happy outside of me and Lanisha. You know what I mean? Outside of your friends. Outside of your man. Because that'll become a habit. It's figuring out happiness with other people. Oh, I'm happy because of this. You were happy because of him, but now you're happy because of us. What makes you happy? Get back to that painting.
Yeah.
You used to paint. You used to write. You used to do poems. Like, figure out what that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what this is about. Figuring out what makes us happy.
Yeah.
So, what's your toast?
I will have to say, here's to not making adjustments for anyone else, putting myself first, and just knowing that you don't have to be in love with someone to love them. And shit.
That was deep right
there.
there.
You don't have to be in love with someone to love them, and just because you love someone does not mean that you guys belong together. Break the glass, bitch.
Once again, my name is Tarek Ali.
My name is Logan.
That was Logan, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, it was very informal.
Yeah, it was.
I wanted y'all to feel like y'all was here.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you guys on my next video.